Taoist philosophy teaches us that true fulfillment often lies in what society overlooks, embracing life's natural flow without striving or forcing. Success is not determined by wealth or status, but by inner contentment and acceptance of life's course. Through this mindset, we can find peace in what others might see as loss, understanding that life's true value comes from letting go, not constantly chasing after worldly gains. Don't forget to click the like and subscribe buttons so we have more motivation to share more useful knowledge for self-growth every day. Long ago, Confucius and his students traveled towards the kingdom of Hu. Along their way, they met an elderly hermit, at least 100 years old, who was gathering leftover grain dropped by farmers. As he worked, he sang joyfully. One of the students, a young man named Sir Kung, was perplexed. He couldn't understand why the old man was so happy, given his apparent poverty and solitude, searching for scraps. How could he be so content? Feeling pity for the hermit, Sir Kung approached him and expressed his sympathy for his unfortunate circumstances. The hermit smiled and asked, "Why do you pity me? Am I truly so pitiable in your eyes?" "Well," Sir Kung replied, "I assumed you hadn't worked hard in your youth, nor did you strive for success or status. Without a wife or children to care for you, you must be lonely. How can you sing and laugh?" The hermit's response was calm and wise. "I sing and laugh because I am happy. Had I competed in my younger years for wealth and recognition, I would not have reached this age, nor would I enjoy such health. Not having a wife or children means I am free from worry, free from the burden of looking after others. My life is peaceful. Why shouldn't I laugh and sing?" This story comes from a Taoist text known as Li Tzu, reminding us that contentment and peace often arise from simplicity, letting go of worldly desires and embracing the flow of life. This story illustrates a fundamental Taoist perspective. Within what we often perceive as loss, there is hidden gain. While the elderly man may not fit the typical image of success in today's world, considered by some as a loser, he is actually deeply aware of his blessings, which are often overlooked by others. However, adopting this mindset is not easy for most people. We are often influenced by societal norms and preoccupied with how others perceive us. This is where Taoist philosophy becomes particularly valuable. It offers wisdom to help us release our concerns, not only about what others think, but also about many of the burdens we carry unnecessarily. Isn't this exactly what we need today? Just take a look around. Distractions abound, and the pace of life accelerates. Stress and mental exhaustion weigh heavily on many, with burnout and depression affecting a growing number of individuals. Taoist teachings offer 3 timeless insights from ancient sages to help us care less about the pressures of life and focus more on what truly matters. Zhuangzi, a renowned Taoist sage, observed that people are often obsessed with fame, wealth, and status. In his time, people sought luxury, expensive foods, fine clothes, and far-off travels to witness remarkable sights. Today, little has changed. Modern media continues to push us toward a lifestyle of excess, promoting the idea that more is always better, encouraging us to chase after the next shiny object, whether a luxury item or a new experience. This reflection encourages us to question our pursuit of external validation and consider how letting go of such attachments might lead to a more peaceful, fulfilled life. Society often teaches us that success is defined by having prestigious careers, large homes, and expensive cars. We are raised with the belief that we must be successful and, if possible, wealthy. Our value is measured by material achievements, status, and wealth. These are the standards by which we judge ourselves and others. Zhuangzi, the ancient sage, argued that society honors these external markers of success. But when people fail to attain them, they often experience sorrow and fear. He observed that the pursuit of external possessions and accolades, once started, seems endless. After acquiring one luxury, we crave another. A dream car soon becomes just another car. A new house quickly loses its allure, and the excitement fades into routine. The happiness that once came from these things dissipates, yet we remain bound by the need to pay for them. Zhuangzi warned that this kind of living is stressful and exhausting. People who focus solely on external success wear themselves down. He even said it's a foolish way to treat the body. And how true his words seem today, as we witness the growing rates of burnout, anxiety, and depression in modern societies. In our quest for wealth and fame, especially in the realm of social media, we often exploit ourselves, thinking these things will bring us happiness. Yet, in reality, many chase these rewards simply to gain the approval of others. The pursuit of fleeting status and material success may not bring the contentment we expect, and often, it only leaves us more tired and disillusioned. Many pursue success to fit in, yet they become nothing more than parts of the vast consumer machine. This relentless chase for material wealth and fame rarely brings satisfaction, and it seldom leads to lasting happiness. Epicurus, the ancient Greek philosopher, recognized this long ago. He saw many of the things that we pursue today as unnecessary and empty. Zhuangzi also observed that society looks down on poverty, a bad reputation, and what we deem as irrelevance. Today, nobody wants to be seen as insignificant. Nobody wants to be a loser. In modern society, those who lack wealth, luxury, and worldly experiences are often dismissed with disdain. They do not wear the finest clothes, do not indulge in extravagant foods, and do not travel to exotic places. These people are often ignored or even looked down upon. However, Zhuangzi teaches us that we should not judge success by the world's standards. He suggests that true fulfillment comes from doing nothing, for when we cease striving, we find perfect peace. Just as heaven does nothing, yet remains serene, and the earth does nothing, yet rests, we too can find harmony by letting go of our constant striving. Can happiness truly be found in the accumulation of things, or is it found in the simplest moments? Isn't happiness born when we stop chasing it? The reason we often feel unhappy is because we force ourselves to pursue it, following a path that leads to nowhere. What if we stopped striving and allowed enjoyment to unfold naturally? The world pressures us to be constantly productive, to be useful in the system. Yet, true peace comes when we cease to be exploited by this mindset and simply let life be. We are often led to believe that we must be useful, productive, and successful in order to earn respect, both from ourselves and others. Society expects us to play the game of ambition, achievement, and competition as if these were the only true measures of value. From a Taoist perspective, however, this entire pursuit is a rather absurd game. We adopt certain beliefs, treat them as absolute truths, and live our lives accordingly, taking them far too seriously. We become preoccupied with conforming to society's expectations and worrying about how others perceive us. Fear of rejection and being deemed inadequate or strange often drives us. Most people live their lives according to the norms of society, gaining many friends, securing a good job, raising a family, and becoming useful. They proudly announce their status, whether it's being hardworking or a devoted believer, thinking that this will validate their existence. But as the Taoist sage Zhuangzi reminds us, we should not judge right from wrong based on societal standards. Just because the majority follows a certain path, it doesn't make it the universal truth. In fact, Taoist wisdom often challenges conventional beliefs. For instance, society may deem a lack of ambition as a weakness. As a result, people desperately strive for promotions, chase career goals, and boast about their future achievements, all to gain admiration. Those who do not share these ambitions are often looked down upon, and for many, this is a source of anxiety. Yet, Zhuangzi would argue that this pursuit of external validation is misguided. True contentment comes from embracing life as it is, free from the pressures of society's expectations. The Taoist sages encourage us to look beyond what society dictates and to question deeply ingrained beliefs. In this light, we must ask ourselves, is being unambitious truly a flaw? Is it worth enduring constant stress just to follow the path of ambition? What if we chose not to chase after conventional goals or resist becoming mere cogs in the machine? Consider the example of the elderly hermit who, unlike others, turned his back on societal pressures. Would his life be any worse for it? Or perhaps it would be richer in peace and contentment. This brings to mind the story of a useless tree, a powerful parable that upends conventional thinking in true Taoist style. One day, a carpenter and his apprentice passed by a massive oak tree near the village shrine. The tree's vast branches could shelter many oxen from rain, and its beauty drew a crowd of admirers. The apprentice, amazed, remarked, "This tree is magnificent. Why do you not care to look at it?" The carpenter, without hesitation, responded, "This tree is useless. Can't you see how crooked it is? If we try to make boats from it, they'd sink. If we used it for doors or closets, it would rot away. It serves no purpose. It is worthless." At first glance, this tree seems to offer no value, but Taoism reminds us that its uselessness is precisely what makes it valuable. It stands tall, offering shelter and beauty without striving or being forced into any mold. The same goes for life. Sometimes what appears to be a waste or a lack of ambition may, in fact, be the truest form of freedom and peace. That night, the carpenter had a dream where the crooked tree spoke to him. "Listen, my friend," the tree began, "I heard what you said. You believe I'm worthless. And in some ways, you're right. Just look at the apple and orange trees. They are considered useful because they bear fruit, and that's why people admire them. But do you see the cost of their usefulness?" The tree continued, "These trees are exploited. When their fruits ripen, they are harvested and their branches are broken. They are pulled, shaken, and when their fruit-bearing days are over, they are cut down. Their usefulness shortens their lives. They cannot live out the full span intended for them. But me, I am considered useless. And in my uselessness, I find great value. If I had been useful, would I have grown this big? My long life is a result of being useless." The story of the tree challenges our usual understanding of usefulness. In our society, where achievement and utility are highly valued, the tree's so-called uselessness turned out to be a blessing. Similarly, the old hermit, who appeared unfortunate by societal standards, found peace and contentment in a life that others might view as incomplete. In this, the tree's lesson is clear. Sometimes, what society deems as uselessness can actually be a source of strength and fulfillment. In life, loss often carries hidden gain. The challenge lies in recognizing it. One day, Bai Kung Tzu and Simon Tzu, long separated friends, finally reunited. Bai was shocked at how differently their lives had unfolded. His old friend had become wealthy, respected, and successful, while Bai had fallen into poverty and disrepute. Bai, filled with frustration, shared his complaints, saying, "When we both entered government, you were promoted while I was dismissed. When we both farmed, the earth favored you, not me. In trade, you profited while I lost. This feels so unfair." He lamented wearing tattered clothes, eating the same food as pigs, and living in a dilapidated shack. Meanwhile, his old friend enjoyed fine meals, lived in a grand mansion, and traveled in luxury. Why? With the same background and education, did our fates diverge so drastically? Bai questioned. Simon Tzu, frustrated, retorted that his success stemmed from his greater virtue, which made him more valued by others. Bai, stung by his friend's words, sought solace from a village sage. The sage, upon hearing the tale, asked why Simon had insulted Bai. The explanation was simple. Bai could not bear the thought of being deemed less worthy than his friend. In this story, we are reminded that our perception of loss often clouds the hidden blessings that come from it. True value and success are not solely determined by outward appearances or material gain, but by the deeper virtues that guide our actions and thoughts. The sage, seeing Bai Kung Tzu's frustration, offered a profound lesson. Worthiness is not determined by social or political success. He explained that success in life is often more about luck than wisdom or virtue. Some people find prosperity simply because fortune favors them, not because they are particularly wise or virtuous. In contrast, Bai Kung Tzu's lack of recognition was not due to a lack of intelligence or character. It was simply a matter of not having the same luck in his endeavors. Upon hearing this, Bai Kung Tzu found peace. He understood that the absence of luck did not need to be a cause of unhappiness. He let go of his frustration. This story teaches us that true contentment comes from accepting fate, regardless of wealth or success. Often, we cannot control the events that unfold around us, but we can control how we respond to them. In a world driven by speed and stress, isn't there wisdom in allowing things to unfold naturally? By releasing attachments and letting go of unnecessary desires, we can experience life with more ease and peace. If this video resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe to continue receiving content that challenges and nourishes both the mind and soul. We'd love to hear your thoughts or questions in the comment section below. Until next time, may you stay wise, stay stoic, and continue your pursuit of a life filled with purpose, balance, and peace.